Hey folks, this is Dave Smith at Correctional Officer Lifestyle. I am in my newly reconfigured office where I'm doing my videos. It's been a minute since I did a video, and the main reason for that is I have been busy. Man, have I been busy. I've been busy at work. We're in the middle of audit season. We've got the big one coming up. We've got an ACA audit coming up. And we've been doing a lot of prep work for that. I was graced with a few extra days off this week. So I've had 4 days off. This is my fourth day, and I only went in for an hour and a half on one of those days. So it was kind of a blessing. But I have been asked to do numerous videos by people that have commented on videos, and one of the videos that I have been requested is a confinement video. That's not this video. That video is still being compiled. It is still being produced. I am going to get it out because it is an important video. It is an important video to me. I want to make sure that I get my facts right before I present it on YouTube for the subscribers to this channel and anybody else that's watching. But several other videos that I have in the works deal with the Correctional Officer Mindset. Now, I have done Correctional Officer Mindset video where I have said that by and large, correctional officers are in survival mode when they're at work. That is true. We're 100% in survival mode when we're at work on a normal day. What happens when there's an emergency? Now, I have notes over here to my right. Like I said, I've reconfigured everything. And it just very simple. What happens when there's an emergency? If there's an emergency, you need to adopt a different mindset than your normal everyday survival mindset. If there is an emergency, there are a few things you need to take into consideration when adopting your mindset. Okay, the first thing that you need to take into consideration is, was this emergency caused by the inmate population? Was it a riot or disorder, an escape, an attempted escape, battery on an inmate, battery on a staff member? The list goes on. Is it something that the inmates have direct control over? Because that is going to determine your mindset going into the situation to try to resolve it. Is it something that the inmates have no control over? Power going out in the dormitory, an electrical fire, things like this. Is that something that an electrical fire inmates don't have any control over? I mean, yes, they could plug a stinger into the wall and catch the dorm on fire, but by and large, the inmates in an electrical fire are not going to have much control over that, okay? This inmate, or is this emergency caused by something outside of the scope of what can be handled within the institution, of what can be dealt with inside the institution, i.e. a natural disaster, a medical epidemic, etc.? Those are things that require a completely different mindset, because you're not looking at something that's going to affect your institution. You're looking at something that could potentially affect hundreds of institutions and their satellites. You're looking at something that could potentially affect the whole state that you work in. Something that could potentially affect your county. You know, a natural disaster in Florida, our natural disasters consist of hurricanes. Hurricanes are often hundreds of miles across. Okay? I can list right now 8 institutions within 100 miles. 8 institutions. That's a big emergency. Okay? Medical epidemic. Medical epidemic affected the whole nation. Anybody that doesn't believe COVID-19 affected the whole nation, I got news for you. COVID-19 affected the whole nation. Okay? Anybody that works inside of a prison knows they work inside of a petri dish. Yes, COVID affected us, and it affected us largely. Okay? You have to adopt a different mindset for that. Okay. Is this emergency able to be contained in one area of the compound, or is it going to be spread throughout the entire compound? For example, a fire. A fire is going to affect one housing unit. Now, there are some there are some institutions where all of the housing units are under one roof. We're not one of those. Okay, it's going to affect one housing unit. We're going to do what we can to keep everybody else operating normally while we deal with the fire. So, it's contained. Hurricane comes through, knocks down 30% of the fence. Or in a case up, let's say somewhere that has a wall, an earthquake knocks down 30% of your wall. You have a compound-wide issue. You have something that has spread through the entire compound. That's a different mindset that you have to deal with. Okay? Is this emergency going to be able to be handled by on-duty staff or Department of Recall staff or staff recalled from your agency, or does it require enlisting outside agencies to deal with it? That's a completely different mindset. You're talking about correctional officers dealing with correctional officers. We know how to do that. We speak our own language. It's cool. You bring in outside agencies to, let's say, a fire. You got the fire department. You have to be able to communicate with them. You have to have your mindset right so that you can communicate with them. If you have a situation where you have the highway patrol on your perimeter just to keep everybody in because you've lost part of your fence, you have to have the ability to communicate with them. That requires a completely different mindset than what you normally go in with. Okay? And is this emergency, and this is a big one, is this emergency something that the media would consider an emergency, and would they attempt to contact you for information concerning this emergency? Every single Department of Corrections has a media person. Every one of the institutions in the United States of America has a media person. The average correctional officer does not have to deal with the media. They refer them to that media person. Okay? That is a mindset that you need to get into, though. So, your mindset in an emergency situation is determined by the nature of the emergency. One thing that absolutely needs to be understood, okay, and this goes from rank and file all the way up, we have a chain of command. That chain of command needs to be 100% adhered to. That being said, if you are using the NIMS and the ICS system, the National Incident Management System, and the Incident Command Structure, the person that initiates the emergency is the person that is in charge on scene until they're relieved. That cannot be stated loudly enough. They are the one there. They are the one that knows what's going on. Okay? They can transfer command up. But until they do, they are in charge of that event. They are in charge of that emergency. They're in charge of that incident. So, that being said, if you are on that model, get into the mindset of you might be in charge. You might be in charge for a long time. You might be in charge for an extended period of time. You might not be relieved of your command until the incident is 100% over. That is a mindset that you need to be 100% in every single day that you go to work. I've done videos about leading at your level. Okay, leading at your level, that video was designed for normal operations. That video was designed for when nothing has gone wrong. Because if something has gone wrong in your location and you have to activate an emergency protocol, your level just became the command level. Lead at your level in no matter what situation you're in. Okay? That is a mindset that you need to be in. You need to be in a mindset to where you might just be in charge of a large scale emergency until somebody more qualified shows up to take command from you. That's all I got for this video, folks. Okay? Remember, correctional officers have more than one emotion. We don't have to be mad all the time. Okay? Adjust your mindset. Be willing to adjust your mindset, but more important than that, be able to adjust your mindset as the situation dictates. In the reference of this video, in an emergency situation. Folks, I can't say it loudly enough. You are a leader. You are 100% a leader. If you are a base level correctional officer, you are a leader. The inmate population is looking to you to lead them. It might not seem like it, but they are. Adopt the mindset of a leader every day you come to work. Be willing to adjust and roll with the punches as necessary. Be a leader when you come to work. All right, folks. I know people are probably getting tired of hearing me talk about domestic violence, but I'm going to continue to talk about it until it is no longer a thing we need to talk about. Okay? 1-800-799-SAFE. 1-800-799-7233. That is a domestic violence hotline. That is a domestic violence hotline. The people at the other end of that phone call have the tools, resources, and abilities to help the victims of domestic violence. If you know the aggressor in a domestic violence incident, say something to somebody. Remember, the absolute worst thing that you can do is nothing. And if you are the aggressor in a domestic violence incident, there's help for you too. Admit that you need it and then ask for it. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button. You want to see more, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications when I post new videos, and engage with me. Tell me what's on your mind. Hit me in the comments section, okay? It's David Smith at Correctional Officer Lifestyle. Remember, love shouldn't hurt. I am my brother's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. I'll see you guys in the next video.